Sean says John Klein. This is a John Klein question, which is awesome. Is John Klein's stuff plus and spin being tracked at AAA? Well, the answer to that is you can find any pitcher's spin and pitch characteristic stuff at AAA on StatCast. I don't have stuff plus for John Klein. But he, and maybe Theo can speak to this a little bit, but he, after a rough first 1 or 2 outings in St. Paul, but together a much more impressive one recently. We can talk about his pitch mix in just a minute, but Theo, why don't you chime in on Klein's recent St. Paul appearance?
Yeah, no, I think his first one was the beginning of August. I want to say August 6th. It was the last day game the Saints had during a weekday. He was atrocious. He admitted that himself. He had the jitters of pitching in a ballpark he hadn't played since his sophomore year of high school. But since then, he's just been back to who he was in Double-A all season. He's been really working up on that velocity for his fastball. It's touching just up to 96 now. The off-speed stuff's looking pretty good. I think they want to add something a little more to that. I don't know if they're going to add another pitch in maybe this offseason, but I think that's on the table. But I mean, he's in a good spot. He's going to be one of these, I think, at least at every level from Double-A on up. They have guys who are going to pitch every 4 days, 3 or 4 innings, and he's definitely in that mix right now and will continue to be. I think he's going to be more trotted out as a starter, and that's what we've been seeing. But I think the last game I watched him, it was his second outing at CHS Field, which was really good, and I can't remember who started that for. Oh, yeah, that was Andrew Morris who was starting that game, so he piggybacked him and pitched really well. So, yeah, the strikeout numbers are looking great, good command of the strike zone. Just need to get off those jitters after having your first start back in your home state after so many years. But yeah, I mean, the kid's looking strong. I think he's definitely a fringe candidate to be a part of the Twins bullpen on opening day 2026. I think he's definitely going to get a spring training invite if he can continue to finish these last 3 weeks at spring training pretty well. So yeah, I think a lot of people will definitely want to have a replacement for Louis Varland in mind in terms of the hometown kid, and he's that guy.
Dude, John Klein is the best pitching story on the Twins minor league side this year, in my opinion. He is, to the pitching side, what Kyler Fedko is to the hitting side. Just 23 years old, signed as a minor league free agent, 6'5", 225. And just to back up everything Theo said there, just 23 years old. Only 13.2 innings so far at AAA, but he's striking out 31.1% of hitters. And the difference between his ERA, which is 5.27, and his FIP, which is 2.27, is enormous. And Sean, who asked a question, asked about kind of the stuff. It's a fastball that plays really, really well up in the zone. It's really heavy. And it sounds like from what you said, Theo, it hasn't quite been up there at AAA, but at AA, he had that thing up to 98 as a max. So just an unbelievable find as a minor league free agent to knocking on the door of the majors in 2 seasons.
Well, it helps when your pitching coach from community college is there with you at AAA.
There you go.
So Jonas said he was a little surprised he made it up to AAA so quickly. He wasn't quite expecting that, but I mean, that's a success story for both of them that they're going to be holding on to for a long time after this year.
Love it. Jeremy, any John Klein thoughts before we move on?
No, I mean, it's a great story. We've talked about the potential that he would need to be added to the 40-man, and I think if he's not great at AAA, he's not really a risk to be added. But I do think that getting a look at him in spring training makes a ton of sense.